what we're doing to misinformation today, boys. How are y'all doing? I'm doing a quick stream. I've got to run soon. I got to fly my white guys. Got to go to work. So I wasn't going to stream right now. I was going to go do some training before I worked. But you know what? Just for you guys, I'm going to do a quick stream and I'll train after I finish. I finish at like 8 o'clock tonight. Close up the gym and then I'll train. All right. So let's have a quick sesh. I saw Kyle just put a new video up. And I do like me some long blonde. Is he American? Who is we? You guys just using my stream as a way to communicate right now? Alright. Anyway, I don't think anyone else is here yet. But we're just going to start watching, alright? I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Test. Man needs to be cast as the new Superman. He does. He's got the hair for it, doesn't he? The 80s Superman. I mean, he's like, I reckon I've never seen him shaved. What does he look like shaved? All right, let's just go, right? I've only got a limited amount of time today, so no, he is Thor. All right, he's Thor. He can be Thor. Howdy. What's up, Linky? How we doing? So I was playing some darts last night. Not those darts. We're throwing darts and having a beer. It was good. It was a place called Ochi. I don't know how you pronounce it. I thought it was like Japanese, right? I'd never seen it before. Oki, I think it's actually pronounced. And then they actually told me in there that it's Norwegian. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's my people. It's my ancestry. What did it mean? I can't even remember. In Japanese, Ochi means like house. Oki, fuck, I need to look into it. I don't know. Anyway, hey Kimmy, how are you? What is in my throat? All right, I'm gonna switch this over. We're gonna have some watching time. Oh, that's not the right one. All right, I think we're ready. Let me turn this music off. Quick stream today, Kimmy. This is all... What's going on here? Everything looks a bit small. I think I know how to fix this. Actually, no, I don't. Usually... Oh, no. Yeah, no. I think I need to pull the mouse out. On YouTube, when this happens, you like scroll with that little middle bit, and it does this. Piece of shit. Anyway.
Most of our information ecosystem has a problem at this point, but since I call this little corner of the internet my home, and that's science communication, I have a problem too. The problem is an epidemic of mis- and misleading content made to scam your attention.
Now, I was kind of wanting to watch this maybe before I made a stream video on it, because like, hopefully I'm not in this video. I mean, I've had a lot of people in the past try and tell me on the comments, this guy's full of shit. You know, like, bullshit, you're a physicist, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I mean, I think Kyle's smarter than that. You know, I talk about it in most of my videos. So I'm not in the vid. Okay, this is good. I love when I spread misinformation. Yeah, it's another problem we've talked about on this channel. It's like, how do you be sarcastic as like doing science communication? You know, the whole Zoomers generation at the moment, they're just like sarcasm to the max and irony. And like, you can't really do that and do science communication. Otherwise, people just think you're an idiot or full of shit. So I don't know how we do it yet. It's like we need a Carl Sagan, right? The OG, the goated science communicator, but like in a new way where they're funny, ironic, and sarcastic, and also doing good science communication. We haven't seen that. Like, just think about that. If you could pull that off, you'd be goated. You'd be the next Carl Sagan of the Zoomers. So if someone's out there and wants to give it a crack, go ahead. It's harder than it looks, because like I said, you kind of just lying. You can't just lie to people in science communication. They lose their shit. All the nerds, man, they're gonna chuck a tanny, and they'll come for your throat. Hey Ada, good morning.
Written and read by bots created by probably nefarious individuals for monetary gain alone. You've probably seen what I'm talking about. How many ostensibly educational YouTube channels like these?
You guys, if you've been watching my streams, I've been going off on these channels for the exact same reason. It's just all bullshit. Just like absolute horseshit. I'm all for... So the thumbnail he put on this video, it might change because YouTubers do that. It said science spam. I'm okay with science spam, all right? Spam's fine. But the title is Science Scam Crisis on YouTube. Now I think that's very different to spam. All right, scam. Why aren't I subscribed? Scamming is not okay, particularly in science. Okay, these channels are snake oil. Like, a lot of it is completely just wrong, misinformation, disinformation. All right, that's snake oil. So I'm okay with science spam, right? I do spam. You guys may have seen, I've watched like every fucking Kurzgesagt video, okay? I'm spamming the fuck out of science. But it's just because I'm a nerd, all right? So to some people it's spam. To me, I'm just having a good time over here, all right? I'm sorry.
Have you come across? There always seems to be at least one in my recommendations or
Hello,
watch
world.
Next. I don't think I've ever actually...
I thought the chat was his chat, but it's just us. You're now on YouTube, Brittany.
clicked on one of these myself, but I assume that people do. The topics being broad, science-y, and, well...
People do. I've had my friends who are literal medical doctors try and send me this shit. I've had a literal doctor, a medical doctor, send me one of these videos, and it was so clearly bullshit just simply because of the education I've had, and he didn't know that it was bullshit, and he thought it was real. And so can you see how big a problem this is? Okay, a doctor, a medical doctor, thought the video was telling him good information. That's terrifying, right? You should be terrified if it's tricked a doctor.
Pretty provocative. Now, I never thought much about...
But I'm also kind of worried. I know I'm talking a lot. We're going to watch this in just a sec. I just wanted to share some of my thoughts on this matter as well, all right? I should also say I just put a PhD in physics on hold, okay? That's who I am. First class degree in physics and math, honors degree, which is different. You guys don't have that in America. It's kind of like a master's. So I've done all the advanced physics, fucking smashed it, all right? Now coming back to what I was saying, which I can't actually remember. The reason why I'm talking a lot at the moment is because I want to kind of share some of my opinions before we hear some of Kyle's. And this is a massive issue. I'm also kind of worried. That's the thought I was going to go with. If YouTube starts bringing the hammer down, Kyle's Thor hammer, because he looks like Thor, well then I wonder what they'll think of me and my channel, right? Because like I said before, a lot of people, just sort of assume I'm a bullshitter because I don't fit the kind of fucking stereotype of being a nerdy science person, I guess. Most people, I feel like, don't even watch my videos before they comment, and they're like, full of shit. I've never had a problem with anyone talking about the stuff I've said, and when I say that, anyone who actually clearly has any credentials or knows anything, none of the people I work with or worked with, my supervisors, they all thought it was great. They put me up for prizes in Australia, in the physics community, science communication prizes. So, people in the actual physics world, none of them really had a problem with it, apart from it calling it cringy occasionally, which hurt my feelings. But, there's nothing incorrect about the info. I'm always spouting on about uncertainty. And, just please go Google stuff that I say. I'm not here to teach you. It's just entertainment. I'm just trying to make science a little bit cooler. And that's all you should get from this. You're not going to learn anything. Maybe a fun fact, but a lot of the facts we talk about in physics are very kind of misinformed in a way, because it's like, how else do we talk about this unintuitive stuff, which is so abstract and mathematical a lot of the time. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I was trying to get at, I'm worried that YouTube will look at me and think, who is this guy? Get him out of here. You know what I mean? But if that happens, it happens. Well, that will be the day I meet my maker.
These channels until one of my facility members pointed out that there's something a little weird going on with all of them. A possibly coordinated effort to skim your precious attention.
That's what uni's all about. RG, good comment. I'm going to watch this after this comment, all right? Promise. Going to university is all about learning how to learn. And one of my favorite quotes by, I think it was Oppenheimer, actually. He said, no one should escape our universities without realizing how little they know. That's what it's all about, okay? You go to university to become more uncertain, to become less certain in what you think you know. Because before university and before education, you think you're a genius. Everyone thinks they're like smart and they know all this stuff. Go study physics. That'll be the biggest wake-up call and slap in the face of your life. And everyone kind of needs that. Everyone needs to be humbled intellectually. So yeah, go to university so you can humble your little ego and your, we all think we're idiots in physics because we saw what people like Oppenheimer, Einstein, Newton, and about 1 million other people during the course of the lectures did, and we're like, wow, okay, I can't do that.
And using mostly auto-generated clickbait that is posing as high-quality science content. And being the science...
I know I said I was going to watch, but I guess I got to say, this is not high-quality science content, all right? This is entertainment. This is just off-the-cuff, impromptu. That's just how I like to live life. And, so sorry if it's not high quality. YouTube, to me, is all about low quality and real and personal. That's where YouTube started, right? And that's what I like about YouTube. I don't like overproduced Netflix shows on YouTube. It's like that's what Netflix or movies and TV shows are for. So whilst I enjoy content like this, I much prefer listening to someone talk without script and things, because then it's not as real, in my opinion. So I just want to defend.
Than I am, I take that personally. So
this video looks
a
very
little bit deeper into YouTube's science spam problem.
This one looks like you chalked it up pretty quickly,
with very little searching,
though.
I
Fairly
quickly
impromptu.
found almost 24 channels representing the problem as I see it. And the first thing you notice is their extreme uniformity. Almost every single one details the same broad, generally interesting science-related topics like the James Webb Space Telescope, aliens, ancient mysteries, mass extinctions, and so on. The kind of stuff you'd see on a History Channel, but you'd only watch if you fell asleep with the TV on. The next troubling thing that I notice is that these channels publish constantly, some almost every 12 hours. This is a rate that I know is literally impossible for even the best creators to pull off. No one is this fast. Not PBS Spacetime, not Minute Physics, especially not Vsauce Get Wrecked, not Kurzgesagt, no one. This indicates to me that...
Have you guys ever watched Hassan Abbey, or what about Moist Critical? Guy puts up 2 videos every 12 hours somehow. It's inhuman. And they're scripted and well... he doesn't do much in them, but they're scripted, so...
At least some part of these channels' content generation process is automated, cut and paste, or both. Then there are the thumbnails. They are just so cookie cutter that you'd be
Good call, Brittany.
forgiven and thinking many of
But the problem is, it's it's not really the science people watching these videos, which might surprise everyone, right? You might be surprised. A lot of people who watch my videos are not people in physics. We do have a lot of them. I get a lot of messages by people in physics, and they're like, I support what you're doing. Thank you. But most of the audience are not people in science. They're just sort of interested in it. The problem there then arises that, if you're just interested in, you're keeping it a passion, which is great. You might not have the education or the bullshit detector to know this stuff is bullshit. And that's the problem. That's the epitome of the problem he's talking about right now.
Many of these are just the same video across multiple channels, and they might...
We're going to times 2 this.
The same dramatic images, the same...
Because I'm running out of time.
Arrows and circles pointing at nothing of consequence. This would at best be clickbait on a non-science oriented channel. But on these channels that are representing themselves as educational, these thumbnails are misleading at best and intellectually offensive at worst. Look at this. How many of these images are either AI generated, photoshopped to the point of ridiculousness, or of things that didn't happen or don't exist? I don't know. Most of them, this is not what happened to her. This is not Christina Ricci. That nose is photoshopped. That baby is made to look like a baby from Avatar. She's not sleeping with her cobra. That's a python. That's Titanoboa. It did not exist at the same time as humans. No one ever caught that thing. That skeleton is too big. Jet Li doesn't look like that anymore. No one rides spiders. This woman is not Snoke. That crab never existed. She didn't exist. This is Photoshop. This is Photoshop. That never existed. This never happened to him. This woman doesn't exist. Those conversations.
So you can now see as well where, you remember what I was talking about before, we need some kind of irony and sarcasm in physics and science. And some of this could be seen as that, right? No? But so it's where do we draw the line? Kyle is kind of going off the cliff and forgetting that, we need to bring sarcasm and irony into it. And if there's a channel dedicated to that, I think that's okay. I'm not sure what this channel is or if it's dedicated to that, but it seems like it's kind of just scammy. And it's well, then what? Do we need if you're going to do a YouTube channel, it has to be one or the other? That's kind of annoying as well. Why does everyone else in politics, every other domain of, I don't know, human knowledge, they get to, sarcasm, irony, all they want. And they go from that to seriousness. You know, that's just human nature. But in science, we're not allowed to do that, are we? And look at how people look at science, like from the pandemic and things. They just fucking hate scientists. Maybe because they think they take themselves so seriously and they're so self-serious. And it does look like that. But if you ever meet a scientist, they're just like me, right? We don't take ourselves seriously. We constantly fuck around. You should come to our group research meetings. It's just like usually a big joke.
It didn't happen. This robot is too big. That one kind of happened. This dog is not Bane. That is not what we discovered in Egypt. No one ever wore that mask to court. And worse yet, there is painfully little creativity here. These channels have identified a few topics,
these
words,
ones
and images
suck.
that do numbers and spam them like crazy. Here, let's play a
The
game.
misinformation
I'm gonna flip through a couple channels and see just how quickly I can find a thumbnail with either Michio Kaku, Elon Musk, or Joe Rogan. Essentially, the bong rips of science content. Okay, let's start with the first channel, and here we go. Oh, there's Elon Musk right in the cover. Elon Musk right on the front page.
Yeah, I wasn't arguing with you, Brittany. I was just sort of taking that thought in a different direction to what you were saying. I agreed with you.
Joe Rogan, multiple times on the front page. Ooh, oh, the Rogue. Doing pretty good. Nope, Rogan. Ooh, this channel, it doesn't seem like they're spamming any sort of Kaku or Rogan. Surely if I go further, it's not like I'm going to find something. You got a Musk. We're going to the Kaku. We got the Kaku. We got the Musk. This is all on the first page of all these things. These people don't do it because they're mostly making stuff up. So this is all getting a little weird, right? And there's no one to actually contact about that weirdness in the channel's about sections. At least I couldn't track down any of the real emails for real people. You go into my about section, you email me, I get that email. Trust me, I read them. And even more telling, in the description for almost every single video on every single one of these channels,
I thought it was silly
too, Johnny. It's a very long description of why they shouldn't be copyright claimed or explaining what to do if you want to copyright claim them. It's not like these channels think that using blurry Netflix and Discovery Channel footage is okay. They know what they're doing, and they're trying to get away with it. We haven't even watched a video yet, and it's all suspicious. Videos with tens of thousands or millions of views and millions of subscribers, and yet they have relatively few comments at all. They all have names that are some combination of buzzwords, text-based.
Quick pause, and I don't know, some of the science crowd don't like that I do this, but this is why I'm on YouTube, okay? So, you know, and this is why I put the PhD in physics on hold to create some things. And they are science related. I use my science background in education to create them. Like this thing is the world's first post-quantum consumer VPN. And, you know, if you want to come use it, there's a 7-day free trial. Come check it out. And then I also created this and this and this and this. And no, I've only got these three. But I just wanted to show you guys, that's why I make these YouTube. I also do it for the communication. I started it purely for the communication. Nowadays, though, I'm trying to spread the wings. And yeah, so if you want to, why is this not loading? Come on. All right, what the fuck is going on here? Someone's, this has taken a while. I think this is my internet. Live fail. There we go. Okay, that looks okay. Finn's room is still there. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Anyway, you can, you know, come AI your interior if you want.
Future Space, Future Unity, Cosmos Lab, Territory Space, Voyager Space, Destiny
these
Space,
all suck.
and so on. All of the logos are exactly the same. The same minimalist design, same white on black, the same video topics, the same thumbnails, the same logos and links to each other.
This
now,
too.
I can't prove that this is a small cabal of evil attention kidnappers, but I would not be
Put the tinfoil hats on, boys. What is going on?
surprised. In fact, I bet on it. Okay, so just on the surface level, this looks like a veritable tsunami of science spam on the corner of the internet I call home. But the actual content of the content is somehow even worse. Look,
most science people are like Stephen Hawking. And Stephen Hawking is such a fucking joker. You know, like you saw him show up in The Simpsons and stuff like that. Like he's an absolute joker. He's a menace. That's what they're like.
And more forgivable if it was just some guy who you could identify who's grinding out content and trying to beat the algorithm, but it doesn't seem like that. What it seems to be is copy and paste text read by robots over stolen footage on a massive scale. To show you what I mean, I'm going to play just a random video that I chose from one of these channels. I'm going to play it behind me to make it less likely that they claim me, which I'm absolutely positive they're going to try to do after this video. Now tell me that this isn't a robot reading some sort of press release.
It has done it again. The James Webb Space Telescope keeps finding galaxies that shouldn't exist.
Come on. And listen to this example of a robot clearly trying to be like the most
Annoyingly, that point, though, isn't wrong.
successful science channel with voiceover, Kurzgesagt. There are many, many channels that try to do the Kurz in a nutshell robot video.
The human brain is one of the smartest on the planet, but there are some things we just can't wrap our minds around.
And when you listen to it,
Come on, that's not Kurzgesagt's voice. That's fine, man. Look, I don't have a problem with that one.
it's
I didn't actually listen to what it said, though. I was just listening to the voice. Let me quickly.
But there are some things we just can't wrap our minds around.
Wait.
Is one of the smartest on the planet.
Wait.
Kurz in a nutshell robot video.
The human brain is one of the smartest on the planet, but there are some things
The human brain is one of the smartest on the planet. Interesting. Interesting choice of words and point.
And when you listen to it, it's almost nonsensical. That video goes on.
Yeah, that
by the
doesn't
way.
make a lot-
And I'm going to
it's
describe
like,
what's
what?
being shown on screen. The human brain is one of the smartest on the planet. Timeline of Shakespeare to bookstores, but there are some things we just can't wrap our minds around. CGI International Space Station, one of those is a paradox. Timeline from your parents to your grandparents. We've evolved to think that reality is a certain way. But there are paradoxes out there that suggest that reality, CGI alien invasion for some reason, doesn't work the way we think it does. This is auditory visual gumbo. It's words and phrases and images that technically go together just
Kind of sounds like Jordan Peterson talking. No, I'm
enough to
kidding.
be palatable, but it's
I'm sorry. I like Jordan, all right?
You know, If I'm right, why are these
Word
channels doing
salad.
this? The simplest answer to me is a shotgun
Wasn't
method
that
of content
bad.
generation, taking advantage of how YouTube works. By more or less automating a process where you can pump out a clickbait video every few hours, you are putting out so much content across so many different channels, some with millions of subscribers, for so cheap with the least effort that these creators are...
But at the same time, science has got to fight back against the rest of the bullshit out there, right? Who are constantly mass producing misinformation, conspiracy theories, right? So science has got to push back, and it's got to fight the good fight. And I think the only way to do that is to produce more content. You know, good content, sure, but like, what is good content? You know, this is also subjective. You know, people will argue what I'm making is horseshit content, but it's actually content. I'm making it because I enjoy this style of content. All right, I understand it's not everyone's cup of tea. People want the fucking everything to look, you know, nice and like a Netflix show. But like, I don't want to make a Netflix show. I want to sit in my room and talk shit. And did you get an ad? Apologies. Anyway,
bound to make
let's
some
keep
amount
going.
of money off of autoplay and clickbait alone, even if they receive a copyright strike. You see, money is only placed in escrow on YouTube after a claim is made. So if, for example, National Geographic never makes a claim on their footage, or even just waits a few hours after a video is published to file a claim, the spammers still get money. It might be a small amount of money, but that's why there are so many channels making videos so often. It eventually adds up. The recent explosion in and access to artificial intelligence only adds evidence to my hypothesis. Search for text-to-speech programs on YouTube, and you'll find a similarly thriving ecosystem of channels teaching you how to exploit the system and make money off of almost a fully automated process. No personal creativity needed. The text is written by
All of science, Brittany, I would argue, is just trying things and to see what happens. That's a quote by a famous woman. I can't think of her name right now. She won the Nobel Prize. But science, all science is just trying a bunch of things to see what happens.
ChatGPT. The visuals are generated by systems like Midjourney. The voice...
No, it's trying everything to see what happens.
Reading the script is any number of increasingly human-like TTS AIs, and almost all of these tools are free, making the barrier to entry, and therefore the barrier to spamming the platform, negligible. Some of these channels outright acknowledge this, and even give themselves challenges to create successful sciencey channels that pull facts, titles, and descriptions from ChatGPT in as little time and effort as possible. I would bet my hair that these tools are behind the epidemic of science spam on YouTube. I mean, just look at how cynical some of these are. Make a bunch of money by just using AI and copy and paste top 10 lists. I said this was going to be a huge problem just a few weeks ago, and it's becoming one even faster than I thought. One of the biggest offenders is Riddle, a channel that I've actually seen before and thought was legit, but really is no better. Same topics, same nonsense thumbnails, same spam.
It's clear that this channel was, I mean, it depends on your bullshit detector, right? I've seen so many videos by these people that just are such misinformation.
Wait a minute.
But sometimes it's okay.
History's worst software errors. That is my video? Ugh. I like when an author at the outline called channels like these. Quote, the grown-up version of the spooky, surreal children's videos created to manipulate YouTube's algorithm system. And it works. Watch what happens when I type James Webb Space Telescope into the search bar here. Notice anything?
Dear.
The exact same offending channels that we've been going through.
Isn't that so sad that, you know, you type in James Webb Space Telescope and the things that pop up is just all bullshit? You know, apart from maybe 60 Minutes here, but Future Space, that top one was bullshit. BBC Earth Lab, this one looks okay. This one is bullshit. You know, like 3 out of 5. That sucks.
Indexing higher in
Come
the
on,
algorithm than
YouTube.
even 60
Be
minutes,
better than
BBC,
that.
Or the actual James Webb Space
This is why we can't have nice things.
Telescope. This is a real growing problem. And no, that's not God. But how?
It's not growing. This has been around for a while, okay? I think he's just finally making a video about it. But I've seen this shit for a good year or maybe 2 years now.
I'd be saying, what if I like my science videos written and read by robots?
Don't just recommend this shit. I mean, don't hit just don't recommend. You know what you got to do? You got to hit report. You can go here and you can do report and you can click misinformation. Report these motherfuckers.
Footage. Well, first of all, I'd say fun voice.
But I also don't want to spread that because people are going to report me because they think I'm just some fucking idiot on the internet. So it's like, if they do that, my channel will just get I don't want to say anymore, but like, it sucks. YouTube, the system sucks. Just kind of like capitalism.
Keep going with it. Second of all, I don't think these channels and the videos they're in are actually the equivalent of just trash TV or tabloids. I think these channels are actively harmful. They miss and disinform the public. And I care about that kind of thing. These are cash grabs. And worse than that, they are cash grabs that siphon your attention away from better things. They are trapdoors of attention to pits of nonsense. Again, I can't prove this is one person or a small group of people. They're making all these videos and channels, even though it seems like that. But what I know for sure is that as an educator on YouTube, and YouTube apparently cares about us, I am offended by this stuff. And I don't want to see it. So what can I do? I make a video like this telling you about it, and I report their butts to the YouTube police. If you want to report these channels, like I did, here's what you do. You log into your YouTube account and then click on the About section. You then click on this little flag down here, and you report.
You can actually do it on every video. You click here, report. Okay, it's the same thing.
For spams and scams. Next, you can select.
There's also a misinformation option.
Any examples of the offending videos. Same topic, same title, same thumbnail, same lack of any real content.
Oh,
bad
wow,
news,
you
bad
can
news,
just do the whole video. Oh, wow,
news,
okay,
indeed,
this is
bad
better.
News, indeed, bad news, indeed. What just happened? You're getting reported. It has an additional comment box if you want to add anything. These videos are ostensibly educational.
That's not even it. Like, you should just straight up say misinformation, and if you want to go further, like add a source or two to directly counter it. That'll help. because the people, you know, behind
Look,
the
who knows if
humans
recording these channels or
there probably don't know enough either, right?
making a video like this will make a dent in this vibrant, diseducational community. But the least we can do is dislike, unsubscribe, and make sure to unclick that bell. Until next time.
Now exiting the facility.
Thank you so much to the very nerdy staff here at the facility for their
Thank you, Kyle, for making this video. It's really important. I'm glad someone who has a real following is getting onto this, right? I don't have a real following. I really appreciate all you guys here with me right now. I love you guys, but let's be honest. I am a nobody on this platform. I had some lucky videos back in the early days. But anyway, I honestly didn't hear a thing Kyle said. Oh, for real? Was it too quiet? I hope you guys could hear. We've had 137 views, which is the most mysterious number in the universe. That is not misinformation, in my opinion. Find structure constant. There's something to go look into because I've got to fly. I got to go to work. No solution is perfect, but we might need a company that gives a stamp of approval. Yeah, but the problem there is, you know, it's like you have a dictator ruling what's misinformation, and that leads to all kinds of problems, as we've seen with media. So it's sort of like, what do we do? We're at this crossroads of a really, you know, tough point. By any chance, would you be willing to make a recommendation list for certain channels? Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Yes, I could do that. But at the same time, I don't watch a lot of the science channels anymore. You know what I mean? But I can give it some because I have watched a lot. Like, I've watched too many to the point where it's like, okay, I'm all scienced out. No, I do watch a lot of science channels. I do. I'll make you a list. But anyway, guys, I am going to go. I'm going to be late. So I might do a Twitch stream later tonight if I'm not doing anything. But if I'm not, you guys have a good sleep. I'll be back tomorrow. And, you know, just keep reporting that bullshit on YouTube. It'll help. Fight the good fight. Anyway, guys,